All right, let's talk about it. There's been a riff, yeah, a musical riff between Kendrick Lamar and Lupe Fiasco for a long time. Now, they've never officially had like a real rap beef. It's never happened. But there's always been rumblings and conversations, through the whole hip hop industry, from social media to podcasters, and they're always talking about when the time comes, who's a better lyricist, Kendrick Lamar or Lupe Fiasco? It's always a thing. Not only that, Lupe Fiasco has gone on several platforms and expressed his like for Kendrick Lamar's music and him as an artist. He's also gave him ultimate praise of him being one of the best artists of our generation. But of course, Lupe Fiasco is a dope lyricist himself, and he's going to always pick himself as the better lyricist over probably everybody in the industry. I think that's the one thing that people are forgetting or they missing, is that when Lupe talks about Kendrick Lamar, he's personalizing the concept of being a better lyricist than pretty much everybody that you can name. It's not really about Kendrick per se. There are some people saying that Lupe Fiasco is hating. He's always mentioning Kendrick Lamar, yada, yada, yada. But what do you do when somebody is the top lyricist? You're going to mention them. You're not going to mention somebody that's not categorized as being one of the best lyricists and wanting a banter with them or a back and forth. Whether he gets that back and forth from Kendrick Lamar or not is not even the point. The point is Lupe Fiasco deserves the right to say, I'm a better lyricist. He reserves that right. Every artist reserves the right to say that they're a better lyricist, artist, rapper, musician, creative than the next person. That is all of our God given right. But does that mean it's true? Does that mean it's actually true? That's the difference. Me being in the music industry as a producer, as a creator, as an engineer, I've come across a lot of great artists. I've worked with a lot of great artists. And, we always have these conversations as to, who's better, who's the best MCs, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas. You know what I mean? Who's the big three, Kendrick, Drake, or J. Cole? These conversations come up. And within those conversations, we come across the Lupe Fiascos of the world, the Black Thoughts of the world, the Mob Deeps, the, Razzcast, the Commons. We mention elite lyricists, the Busta Rhymes of the world, the Griseldas, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different conversations that we have of who's the better artist, and we don't do this to put anybody down per se. We don't do this to say this artist is the lesser of the two. What we're saying is that when we have these conversations, each person looks for certain things in the battle, or let's just take hypothetically, let's take Kendrick and Lupe. Myself, I look for certain things in lyricism, in delivery, in cadence, in concepts and topics. I look for certain things that might make me say this particular artist is better than another artist. Whoever I might choose, I'll get to that point on who I feel like is the better lyricist. So the next person might look for other elements in the lyricism that might deem somebody a better lyricist or not. I think that's the beauty of hip hop, is that we get to have these conversations. I think that's the beauty of Lupe Fiasco saying what he's saying about him being a better lyricist than Kendrick. He feels like he's a better lyricist than damn near half the music industry. Also, at the same time, I think that Lupe Fiasco is qualified to talk about lyricism and everything that entails that. Now, this is the one thing that I want to say about who's better, Kendrick or Lupe. I want to bring up this point before I express who I feel like is better. Now, when a lot of people talk about lyricism, they talk about, you know, the wordplay, the metaphors, the similes, the double entendres, triple entendres, you know, even the cadence, the approach, you know, the subject matter, how complex is the layout of the verse or the song, things like that. But in my opinion, there's one element that people leave out in lyricism. There's one element that I feel like they leave out in lyricism deliberately because they don't feel like this one element is a part of creating great lyricism, linguistics, you know, making people enjoy the verse. They think it's in a separate category. And that one thing is feeling. People forget about feeling in lyricism. I know a lot of people say, you know, there's experts all across the world, and they say, you know, there are songs and there are lyrics that entice your mind, and then there's lyrics, you know, and songs that entice your heart, that's for your soul. In my opinion, lyricism can do both. Lyricism can do both. Don't leave that out. Case in point. A lot of people, a lot of experts and non-experts and fans, they would consider Tupac not a lyricist. They would consider him a great rapper, a great artist, a great song maker. They would consider Tupac someone who makes you feel the music. Not necessarily, he's not coming up with all these metaphors and extravagant wordplay and lyricism, right? So they don't consider him a lyricist. But this is the one thing that people forget. Let's take battle rap, for instance. Let's take current battle rap. Smack, you know what I'm saying? URL, Rare Breed Entertainment, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to ARP, even though he's retired. But all of these different leagues, Trenches, you know, Queen of the Ring used to be, like all of the battle leagues. Let's take those for instance. There are moments when two people are battling on stage. There are moments where there are certain points in somebody's verse where lyrically it sounds dope. It sounds great. The approach to whatever this scheme is, because they call it schemes, the approach to the scheme might be great. But the most haymakers, and haymakers are, this is where when you say something, when you put together a scheme or a line and the crowd goes crazy, this is where the feeling of lyrics and words and things that you're saying, this is where it comes into play for the right reasons. A lot of haymakers in battle rap are the lyrics that are the most relatable to the crowd. If the crowd can relate to it and it's a little bit witty, they finna go nuts. They finna go crazy. The other side of it is, even if the lyrics are not that witty, not that complex, but the feeling is there, it gives people the exact same energy. They'll go crazy for that. That's the part that people are missing in lyricism, is making somebody connect with it. Feeling is a part of connection. When you feel something, you're connecting with it. In my opinion, dope lyricism for me is not that great if you can't connect with the people. If you can't connect with the people, your lyricism is not as great as, in my opinion, as you think it is. Going over people's head, to me, is not really a thing. That's cool. But if people can't understand it, if the fans can't understand it, how do you expect to get the ultimate kudos. If they can't resonate with it, if they can't feel it, if you can't make them feel it, how good of a lyricist are you? Let's break down lyrics, words put together that not only rhyme, but that tell a story. Let's just look it up. Lyrics, words that are coming together to tell a story. That's what we are supposed to be doing. We are supposed to be telling stories, connecting with our fans, connecting with people through lyrics. If you're just talking about psychologically, philosophically, and you're not connecting with the people, what are you doing? There are styles of music that have complex rhyme schemes and layouts and big words, which and I love that type of hip hop. I love it. That's what you call the backpacker hip hop, for lack of a better term. Backpack rap. I love it. I love it. It's great. It's dope lyricism. But guess what? Imagine you had complex delivery styles, good cadence, dope flows, and you made the fans feel it. You will be an elite lyricist. That's what elite lyricists do. They don't just rhyme just for the sake of rhyming. They don't just connect words for the sake of connecting words. They make you feel the journey that they're on when they're telling this story or when they're putting together this rhyme pattern. Artists like Nas, artists like Jay-Z, artists like Planet Asia, artists like Common. You see where I'm going here? The important part to remember is that you got to connect with the people. That's why I think that Tupac is a lyricist. I also think Biggie is a lyricist. They're telling stories, they're connecting with people, they're having witty ways. Even like Tupac was very witty at creating a concept for a song and then making you feel it. Me and My Girlfriend, Hail Mary. This is lyricism, y'all. This is lyricism. Biggie had a great way of putting together warning lyricism, unbelievable lyricism, 10 Crack Commandments lyricism. Not only is he giving you dope wordplay and dope lyrics, he's telling you about the 10 commandments of selling crack. He's telling you a story, something that's a part of, that used to be a part of his lifestyle. You can't just rhyme to me and you got a good rhyme scheme, but you're not going nowhere. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. You got to go somewhere with your lyricism. That's what makes it elite. Now, who do I think is the better lyricist? Kendrick Lamar or Lupe Fiasco? We can all agree that Kendrick Lamar is the better artist. Overall, is the better artist. He's had a better career. He's put together incredible albums, incredible records. Even Lupe Fiasco understands that and respects that. Kendrick Lamar has the better career. In my opinion, only my opinion, y'all could take it, y'all could put it in the comments. What's your opinion? In my opinion, I believe that Kendrick Lamar is the better lyricist. Out of Kendrick Lamar and Lupe Fiasco, I believe Kendrick Lamar is the better lyricist. Let me explain why. I believe that they both have wordplay is crazy. Both of them wordplay is crazy. Both of them cadence is crazy. Both of them lyrics, similes, metaphors, double entendres, they both have incredible layouts of those elements in lyricism. They both have dope voices for rhyming, good rhyme patterns, but there's one difference. There is one difference that, in my opinion, makes Kendrick Lamar the better lyricist. And that's what we just talked about. Feeling, connection. Kendrick Lamar knows how to connect with his fans and his people to make you feel it. That's the one difference. I'm not taking nothing away from Lupe Fiasco, but I'm saying the way Kendrick Lamar connects on the song, the way he makes you feel it, I think that's the one element that Kendrick Lamar learned from Tupac, is how to connect with the people through the music. I'm not saying Lupe doesn't connect with the music, you know, I'm not saying that he doesn't do that every now and then. I'm saying when Kendrick drops a project, he makes you feel it. The lyrics that he's saying, you can feel it. Even down to the diss records. He made you connect with the disses that he was saying against Drake. You was connecting with it. Even if you didn't believe what he was saying was true, you was like, oh, that's relative to, I did see Drake do that at one time. Maybe that's a thing. He connected with you. That's the one difference between Kendrick and Lupe. And I love both artists. Both have made incredible albums. Both have made incredible music. It's just when it comes to that feeling, come on, man, what we talking about? What we talking about? That feeling is everything. That's the one difference between the two artists. And that's actually the difference between a lot of artists in this game. The ones who make you feel it, doesn't matter how complex, doesn't matter how simple, the ones who you could connect with, the ones who make you feel what they're saying with their wordplay and their lyrics and telling a story through the song and the music, the ones who really connect with you are the ones who are the elite lyricists. I'm going to say it again. The ones who connect with you the most are the ones who are the elite lyricists. That's the difference. I think Kendrick Lamar and Lupe Fiasco will forever be in the conversation of elite lyricists. They're going to always have conversations between the two. Do I think either artist is doing too much? No, because either artist, they just do what they do best. But social media, but the podcasters, but the content creators like myself, the producers, the engineers, we're going to all have these conversations. The one thing y'all got to remember is both artists are elite artists. In my opinion, I believe that. I did give my answer on who I feel like was the better lyricist. We could debate about that in the comments all day, all day. But I don't think either artist is hating on either one. Kendrick is not hating on Lupe. Lupe is not hating on Kendrick. It's just hip hop. And that's what we love. We love our hip hop. So let me know what y'all think in the comments about this whole Kendrick Lamar Lupe Fiasco thing. And I would love to hear a record with them too. If they want to battle on record, make a record together. I'm with that. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Should they make a record together? Let me know, man. Y'all already know what it is. Work, load. Appreciate y'all.